All right, we're on page 109 next. Blank times 4, okay, equals 2. All right, and what do we think goes in that blank there? How can we figure that out? The one way I can think about this is kind of like a variable for me. I think of this as, this is 4x equals 2. That's the way I think about that, right?
We divide both sides by 4.
Yes, Sun is correct. We need to divide both sides by 4. Oh, much better. All right. So if I divide that by 4, what do I get on this left side? This cancels, right? So I have x equals what? X equals 2/4, right? Well, what is that as a decimal?
0.5.
Yeah, we would say 0.5 here, okay? So your x there is equal to 0.5. And we want to put decimals here instead of fractions. Okay, so make sure you put 0.5. It's 0.6 times x, I'll call it. And so let's set this up as an algebra problem. And we could say that this is 0.6x equals 2.4, okay? And now what do I do to both sides? Divide by?
6.
Not 6.
4.
Not 4.
0.6.
Yeah, so if we divide both sides by 0.6, we should get our answer. Okay, so this will cancel out. And this is x on the left. And here I could say 2.4 divided by 6.
0.4.
All right, let's do that slowly. Just while we're here, we're going to review how we could divide 2.4 divided by 0.6. Okay, and we'll take it slowly here. Just what should we do to this decimal place here? By the 6, what should we do with that decimal place? We move it one place to the right. And if we do that, what do we need to do to this decimal place?
Move.
Yes, we need to move it one place to the right. So really, this just becomes 24 divided by 6, and we can do that easily. Obviously, that's 4. Okay, so what is x then? X equals?
X equals 4.
Yeah, x equals 4. Okay, so make sure then in that box there you have 4 there. Okay, and let's look at the next one. And we could do some of these in our heads and skip the algebra if we felt like we were pretty confident. This one I think we can do in our heads without doing the algebra. But does anyone have a guess for what we might write there for this unknown here for C?
0.7.
Did you say 0.7?
Yes.
Yes, I think you're correct. And we could just check that real quick. Obviously, 0.7 times 7 is 4.9, right? It is 4.9. Okay, so that checks out. We got it. Okay, and D, well, let's see here for D. Anyone have any ideas, or should we just set this up as an algebra problem real quick? Anyone have an idea? Let's just set it up first, just because it's a little bit trickier. And this one I like to write, instead of divided by 3, I like to write x over 3. I'm calling this x here, okay? And I set this equal to 3.1. And how would I solve for the missing variable here, or the unknown variable x? What do I need to do to both sides to get x? All right. What'd you say?
Times.
Yes, times by what?
3.
Yes, and I'll write this out here. 3 over 1 times x over 3. And I can see here that that's going to cancel. And I'll write 3.1 times what? Times 3, right? Yeah. Okay, so first I'll cancel these out and I'm left with x on the left-hand side. And then I need to take 3.1 times 3.
9.3.
Yes, we would get 9.3 there. We see that it's 93 and we have one decimal place on the top. So we say this is 9.3. And that should be our answer there for D is 9.3. Perfect. All right, let's move on. Here we have the unknown variable is the second number here. It says 3.6 divided by blank equals 1.2.
3.
You think it's 3? Well, we could check. 3.6 divided by 3 is 1 point what?
Oh.
Yeah, 1 point what? Yeah, 1.2. Did we get it right? Or did you get it right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that checks out, right? So some of these we can do in our heads. That's an example of one of them. Okay, so you should have gotten 3 for part E there, and let's move on to the next one, which says blank divided by 9 equals 0.7. So blank divided by 9 equals 0.7. Does anyone have a guess there, or should we work it out? I guess we'll work it out, right? Okay, so let's think here. We have x. I like to write this x over 9 equals 0.7. And now we can clearly see what to do, right? What's my next step? Well, I need to multiply both sides by what? By 9. So I'm going to say this is all right, so we take 9 over 1 times x over 9 equals 0.7 times 9. I'll just write it like that because I know I can work it out like that easier. And so this 9 cancels and I'm left with x equals what? Well, I see that as, what's that right there? 9 times 7 is what? 63, right? So where does my decimal go? I have one decimal place on the top. And where does my decimal go, guys? What's the number for x? X equals?
6.3.
Yes, thank you very much. All right, so we could say x equals 6.3 there. It's a little bit tricky. This says write the missing numbers. Okay, this is for part A, and notice there is a decimal here. So we need to take blank point blank times just a single digit number, and this may not be a decimal, equals 4. Anyone have a guess here or an idea?
4.0 times 1.
Ooh, that's a good one, actually. I like that. That's clever. Okay, yeah, you could do 4.0 times 1. That would work. I like that. That's thinking outside the box for sure. Well, yeah, we could do that. I would accept that answer for sure. But let's try another one.
2.0 times 2.
That is another clever answer. You could say 2.0 times 2, another clever answer. What if I said any other actual decimal numbers you guys could try? All right, let me try and give you a hint here. What if I said 0.8?
0.8 times 5.
Yeah, and that one might be the best one to put. If you put the other ones, I'd probably write a smiley face next to your answer. But this here would be correct for sure. So this is 0.8 times 5, and that works out, right? Okay, so Let's try the next one for B. And this is blank point 4 equals blank point blank.
It's
Okay.
literally the B.
This could be a lot of things, really. This could be really whatever we want, except it would have to be just one decimal with no remainder. Okay, so what do you guys think for B here?
2.4 divided by 6.
That's what I was thinking, 2.4. I think that might give us a nice round decimal here at least. So we know that's 0, and what's my answer?
Or 0.4.
Yeah, so I'd say 0.4. Okay, so make sure you have all of these. I'm going to pull out the full screen here. Make sure you have all of those for page 109.